What's up, guys? Aid here with my boy Casey. What you do today, Casey?
I made top 4 locals with SwordSoul.
Hell yeah. Let's see the list. And what do you think about it so far, actually? Like, this deck's brand new.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I'm between 2 different versions. That's kind of everyone's situation at the moment. I was on the Tenyi version tonight, but I managed to get the stuff to play the DPE sort of Ecclesia-based version. I'm going to be testing which one I think is better. The Tenyi one seemed really consistent, so that's why I went with that. Plus, I've played Tenyi in the past because I'm bad. So I kind of knew what those cards did, and that is good. So they were very good tonight.
So we might see the other one next week when you top with that.
That'd be cool, yeah. I have an Ecclesia is a hell of a card, so we're going to see. But yeah, I'll get started. So it's 40 cards. So first is 3 of the big boy. This is long one. His effect is you can discard a worm or a worm or a sword soul card, and he special summons himself and makes a token. Burns for 12 when you sync with him, and he happens to hit the levels to make level 10 synchros, which are all good.
That 12 burn is so unnecessary too.
Yeah, it actually adds up a lot of the time because like Monk or the Tenyi, plus like the guy, like it all adds up, so you can just do 8,000 exactly. Like it's kind of dumb.
When you like shouldn't be able to. It wasn't even you're attempting.
Yeah, it's very good. So after that, next is going to be 3 Moye. This is kind of like what people consider like the main summon of the deck. Its effect on normal or special is that you can reveal a worm or a sword soul card, and then you special summon a token. All the tokens are all the same. They're level 4 water tuners, importantly. The tuner part's really important because all these are non-tuners. But when it's used as material, you get to draw a card. And that was actually really good. The drawing of one card mattered quite a lot. Also important to know, all of these effects that are when they're used as material can chain block the guy that you're making if it has an activated effect on summon.
Oh, that's true. That's
chain
true.
one and then chain it to the grave. So that comes up sometimes, especially with the level 8 synchro, but we'll get to that. Next, since I'm playing the Tenyi version, I played 3 copies of Taie. A lot of the other versions of this deck only played 2 copies, and I'm going to play with that number. It's definitely not 1. It's either 2 or 3.
It's definitely not one though.
This card's very good, and it's the only true like 1 card engine in the deck is like emergence into this, because that puts a sword soul card in grave. But this guy is you banish a worm or a sword soul, make a token, and then when he's used as material, you foolish out a worm card. Not a sword soul card, a worm card. Which can set up a lot of things, especially with the Tenyi cards. So those are all the sword souls. You don't play the other level 6 guy, he's stinky. You don't need them. So the other engine here is going to be the Tenyi engine. So I played 3 Ashina. This is the one, they all special summon themselves if you control no effect monsters, which you can pull off pretty easily. And then they have another effect, all of them, that they can banish themselves from the hand or the graveyard if you control a non-effect monster. So that includes the tokens that these guys make, which is pretty good. But this one, its activated effect when you have a non-effect is to special summon a Tenyi out of the deck. It locks you into worms for the turn after that, but like a lot of your best cards are worms anyways, besides like Baron, but it's fine.
If you have access to Baron, you're probably doing it first, right? Like you'd special the Ashuna and then do your Baron stuff?
Yeah, a lot of times you want to do the Tenyi stuff first because it's the safer play. You don't have to normal summon to make level 8s. But I mean, it can come up, and often if you have this guy already in your hands, discarding these cards for this card's effect is fine because they can trigger from grave too.
Yeah, that's Value City kind of.
It's super Value City, yeah, it's great. So yeah, 2 of that guy, 2 Vishuddha.
He breaks boards, right? Everyone should know what he does.
Yeah, banish him, spin a card, not monster card. So I spun back row a lot today, actually. It came up. And then 2 Adhara. You could probably play 3 of this. This is a tuner in itself, so these guys will make a level 8 before you commit a normal summon.
That's nice.
Yeah, and
if you don't have the normal summon, you make the level 8 that searches it.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. That's the idea. So this guy, his engrave effect, or in-hand effect is banish it, then add back a worm monster. Any of these, except for himself. Now, fun fact, he can target the other copy of Adhara. So if you're at the end of your Tenyi engine, which can happen in a grind game, they can recur each other.
So they can just infinite loop kind of?
Yeah, infinite fodder for these guys, and some other cards that I'll show you later.
Does this lock you too once you use it, or no? Like that one does?
The only cards that lock you are this and the Shaman of the Tenyi, which came up tonight, unfortunately. But yeah, it's the Link monster. If you use its effect. If you make it, it's fine. Once you use it, you're locked into only using Tenyi names from the action deck for the rest of the turn. So you can still play cards after that, but you can't use their effects. So. But yeah, that's the only locking it. So those are actually all of the monsters in my main deck. You'll notice there are no hand traps.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, there are no hand traps. You just kind of kill them. is the idea. I think the other version that plays Ecclesia would probably play hand traps and cross out, but this version just kind of breaks their board and kills them. Or if you go first, you make like 4 synchros and then they can't play through. So it's pretty good. I think that there will be some hand traps played in this in the future, but that's okay. So next is the spells. 3 emergence. This is the Rhoda. It searches any of the SwordSoul things, or if you have a Synchro on board, it searches any worm.
And when they're banished, all the spells bump levels up by 1, right? Bump or reduce?
Yeah, it can go up or down by 1 of a SwordSoul monster. So that's how you'll get into like some of the different Yang Xing cards, and you can also like level modulate some cool stuff. It comes up. So yeah, that actually I use that effect more than I thought I would today. But yeah, this is really good. This is your best starter because you go this into Taie banishes this, and you have your whole deck in your hands. So,
the world is yours.
Yeah, basically. And then one of this, I have heard of playing 2 of this, and I don't hate it.
That's the Reborn, right?
Yeah, it's Monster Reborn for a SwordSoul, or if you have a Synchro, it's for a Worm. That doesn't come up as much, but it can. But yeah, this is really good. Usually you're using this to combo off of what you send with the Taie. So for example, a good play is do this into this. These guys make the level 8, and the level 8 will search this, and you can use this effect to send the Moye, and then you reborn the Moye. And
So it's like a pseudo search, kind of.
Yeah, it is. I think one of this is fine. I never felt like I absolutely needed to draw it for my turn. Usually I could search it. But if I started with it in my hand, it was still pretty nice because then I could search a different card. So
yeah.
I could entertain playing 2 of this in the future, but it was very good. And these are mismatched, which is unfortunate. But 3 of the Vessel for the Dragon cycle.
Peasant can't even match them.
Yeah, I know. This card's crazy. So basically, it'll what it does is it sends a worm from deck to graveyard, and then if you have a non-effect monster, it also rotas for a worm, or rotas for a Tenyi specifically. So this can send a SwordSoul, but it always has to search a Tenyi. And usually you're going to want to do this when you have a non-effect monster, either Monk or one of these tokens. But this card can set up really well for this card, because it can send the right thing, which means anytime you get to the level 8, you can search this and use it. But really, usually what you're doing with this is getting one of these cards that's crucial to your hands to make a level 8 play before you commit to the board too hard. Because if you can get to Ashina, so basically any combination of these cards in 2 that includes not specifically these 2, you can do some really crazy things. And Xiao Fang is a card you can play against Dratron. That didn't come up today, but shout out to Pac because I learned that recently on one of his videos, and it's nuts.
He has a lot of good educational stuff, honestly. I watch him sometimes too.
Yeah, he's good stuff. I think he's a very good player. So anyway, going on, 3 desires. Don't mind. I only had mismatchables. Sorry. But basically with this, you're not playing the hand traps. You're playing a lot of all the copies of the cards. This is the only card you really don't want to banish. And usually you can search it.
Yeah, just search it first.
Search it
right?
first. And if you don't have it, it's not the end of your world. You have other ways to get cards back, especially with your extra deck. So this is the spicy tech I chose to play, and it was super good.
I like this card a lot,
Chalice was
too.
great. This is part of the reason I was going second. If I went first, I just set it. And
yeah, it's a trap card.
It's a trap card, good. But this is good against the bird deck, of course, for the barrier statue, for the Ryza, for the Snow, for the Empen. It's also good as Tri Brigade because you can just do this to their Appaloosa or their Sherrig that they summon. So it's just kind of good in general.
It sounds like all the negates from the best decks.
Yeah, it was good. I also did use it to get a card over by battle today.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, for 400 extra attack.
Yeah, Abaxia killed a golden lord. So that's pretty cool. Then 3 triple tactics, because all your cards are good. Let's draw more of them. You can also just kill with that card, obviously. And then the holy one-ofs in this are Gold Sark. Gold Sark seems bad until you realize what it does. It mostly just starts for this.
That for a token.
And this makes a token when it's banished. So yeah, it's an extender. Yeah, so if one of your guys gets stuffed, you can get a tuner by playing this card. Along the same lines is Instant Fusion for the same reason. I only play one Instant Fusion target. It's the Magic Key Tuner, level 4.
Yeah.
So these are just extenders if you get stopped. And then, like, Called by the Grave is really good. If you have it when they play Shifter, you're really good at Yu-Gi-Oh! But I don't.
You're like, oh, you thought you were banishing my cards? I'll banish your card.
Yeah, right. Get destroyed, idiot. And then the only traps I'm playing 3 Imperms and 2 Blackouts. Paxilus, which this is very much influenced by, played Solemns, and I think that's really good. But I wanted a little...
Strike or Judgment?
Strikes. I think that's really good, especially if you're going first. It's nuts. Going second, you're not dying. But I wanted these specifically because I knew people were playing birds, and this is good against birds.
It also is like similar to Chalice, where it's just
Yeah.
kind of, if you draw it as your 6th, that helps you break the board still.
Exactly, yeah, it can be a card that contributes to you killing them, so I thought this was pretty good. I'm going to try out Strikes as well, but it's good. And then last card, 2 of these, you're going to use this here, but this is also such a good card.
It's like Icarus attack, right?
It's basically Icarus attack, yeah. And then if it's banished, you can make a token that's a 2. Another cool thing is if you have the level 10 Synchro out, he can protect himself by banishing a card.
Oh, so you can banish that?
Yeah, so you can basically get a free lunch.
You would still resolve destroying their cards, but not your own?
Right. And then he banishes to protect himself, and then he triggers banishing 2 of their cards.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's a really cool synergy.
Yeah, it's great. There's a lot of little synergies here that work really well. So yeah, this is the main deck. It's 40 cards.
I like it all being laid out at once. It's kind of cool to be able to
Yeah,
do
people
that.
can just skip right to it in the video.
We don't need watch time.
Yeah, no. So I'll do the side deck next. My side deck was used a fair amount today.
Could you go extra first, actually? I want to see what you played in the extra.
Oh, sure,
like, real
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, that's fine. My sleeves are bitch matching because they are. So
You don't play Prosperity, it doesn't matter.
I don't. They should be matching. I just didn't get the opportunity before the tournament because I'm lazy. So 2 monk. This sometimes comes up that you need to make a monk under a monk to clear your board out and make the right cards in your graveyard. Also, if you don't need to do that, it's good to keep it. That way you can recur your Ashina by Adhara's effect, and then start your engine again next turn. Basically, entirely over again with the advantage you already have. So this card's way better than it seems like it is. And sometimes you just go into beatdown mode with Monk and Shaman. Because Shaman can bring back any worm by discarding a card. Now it locks you into Tenyis that turn.
For the rest of the turn? Or for the whole turn?
For the rest of the turn, you can't activate extra deck monster effects on the board except for Tenyis.
So you could still put up like negates, you just can't use them yet.
Yes, that's right.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but usually you're using this after you used Ashina, which locks you into worms anyway, so it gets more restrictive as you go. But if you need to bring this guy back, she also has an effect that if a normal monster battles, you can pop a card.
Oh, that's kind of
So
sick.
yeah, there was a few times today where like it just didn't work and they got rid of my thing, so I just brought this back, popped the card, and dealt 26. So yeah, this card's also great because it can bring back your level 4 guys that I'll trigger and do the cool stuff. So yeah, there's those. The one fusion I play for instant fusion is Magic Key Beast. I've never read this card beyond this word, but that's fine. So onto the synchros. This is where the meat is. So 2 of Shai Zhao. This
How
is
expensive is this card?
I think it's like 45 or 50 bucks at the moment.
That's not terrible.
The whole deck's pretty pricey. This version isn't playing Ecclesia, but if you play Ecclesia and DPE,
It's even more money.
Your wallet's been busted. So yeah, this card's like the main card of the deck. On summon, it searches for any SwordSoul card, which is just, I don't need to explain how good that is. And then as a quick effect, it can banish a card from grave and negate a monster's effect to the end of the turn. And that works if you have the big guy out, the level 10 guy that I'll get to next. If you have him out, he'll also trigger there. And this card just like does so much. It's an extender, it's a floodgate. Well, it's not a floodgate, it's an interruption. This card's like everything. That's one of the reasons why this deck's so crazy.
And it's it doesn't like negate in response, it targets and negates, right? So you can like, they can't chain block to get around it, I believe.
That's right, yeah.
So if you're against
correct.
Flunderies and they're like chainlink 1 guy on field, chainlink 2 dude that's banished, they're not chain blocking. You're like,
Correct,
you're still
yeah.
negated. Nice try, bud.
Exactly. And so instead of like Ash where it chains directly to it, you can chain this at any point. You can even use it during your own turn to turn off like Ecclesia and kill it, or negate a monster's effect that's causing you some issues, or bait a negate out with this guy. Yeah. So
What a powerful card.
This is level 10 Synchro. This guy, some people don't like him. I think he's very good though. He gains 100 for every card that's banished, both players. And your opponent's monsters lose that much for every card that's banished, both
The
players.
Desires is kind of cracked at this.
Right. I had him at 6,300, and their virtual world guy was a little tiny zero boy. So that's like his base effect. Also, if you would be destroyed by any means, you can banish a card instead. From
Like
the
Colossus and Titan.
Exactly. But that feeds his last effect, where if a card is banished, you get to, as a, like on a new chain, banish a card in their field and one in the grave. So he feeds himself.
That I remember when I was playtesting this card in the very, very beginning of hearing them coming out, I played DD Crow for that reason.
Yeah,
You
that's
could
not
like
bad.
crow one of their cards, crow a second card, and then banish on field.
It's very good. These guys have really great synergy together. If you use Blackout, like I said, you can protect himself. I Desires with him on the board today. Drew 2, banish. They're dead. Very good. Also, all the Tenyis banish themselves. So this guy just has so much synergy. He's great. But that means you didn't summon this card, so I don't know what you're doing. This card's absolutely insane.
I'm glad it's out. This
yeah.
is going to change the game a lot.
Yeah, big thank you to Devin. He let me borrow this. I need to get my own copy.
Yo, shout out Devin.
Yeah, someone let me know if they're selling one. So this card is crazy. It's once per turn pop, just whatever. That's just on your turn. Once while it's face up, you can negate anything, anywhere. That's good. And then during your standby phase, you can put this back in the extra deck and special summon a monster from your graveyard that's level 9 or lower. Or, yeah, level 9 or lower. So you can bring back your other SwordSoul guys. Like, if you've already used the Omni to get here, and the pop's not really good, just bring back your Moye and let's do it again. So it's crazy.
Could also technically bring, like, this card back, right? And have another interruption?
Correct.
So dumb. Yeah. And then it's back in the extra deck, so you don't need to play multiple.
Yep, and you can make it again. So 1 copy is all you need. It's very good. Also, this card's wildly good.
I miss the days of playing this in Yangzing. This card's insane.
Boxy is absolutely cracked. So this card I really did not expect to do as well as it did, but it was insane. So when it's made, you can spin back the deck a number of cards up to the numbers of different attributes of worms you use to make it.
So typically 2 unless you use Moye.
Yeah, exactly. They're, in that case, are both water, but still 1 spin on summon, not bad. So yeah, that's crazy. The other effect that's really relevant in this deck is you can destroy a card you control and special summon a level 4 or lower worm from graveyard.
Yeah.
Moye or Taye. Usually when you're making this, if you do your Tenyi play, you'll end up with Monk and then the materials for a level 8. So if you decide to not make this, or you've made this and it's got stopped, you can make this, pop the Monk, bring back the card in graveyard, get its effect.
That's kind of sick.
It's insane. So yeah, this card is absolutely insane. 2 is the right number.
Taye puts a card in grave, right, too? So
yeah.
If you were to use Taye to make that, and you send Moye,
he sends Moye, this brings it back. Yeah, it's crazy. Also, leaving this card on the board for the trap's good. So this card accidentally plugs up a lot of the weird strategy holes here. But yeah, absolutely nuts. This card's crazy. Draco Berserker, you kill him. He also has the Ghost Ogre Banish effect. But he's one of the best offensive options you have once you're locked into Tenyis.
What do you mean you kill him? Does he have an effect that boosts his attack or something?
Yes, when it destroys a monster and sends it to graveyard, he gains attack equal to that monster's attack permanently and can attack again.
Oh, sick. So it's like an on-theme Boral Sword.
Yes. And if they activate a monster effect, you can just quick effect banish
Destroy
that
it?
monster.
Oh, banish it.
Which, by the way, works with this
Oh,
card.
yeah.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah,
Everything synergizes with this. It's
Yes.
weird that people don't play it.
It's very good. Also, this card, nuts.
That's just spell trap negate, right?
Yes. The other effects on this don't matter, but all your tokens are water monsters that are the tuners, which make this. So you can just make this whenever. It's a once per turn spell trap negate.
That's kind of crack. I like it.
Yeah. Other cards, Yazi, with the modulation of the levels, using the spells, you can make this. You pop itself, and then pop one of their cards, and then float into whatever you need to get from your deck. It triggers. Go nuts. It's really good for board breaking. Usually you're going with this, but this also gets...
That's another option.
Yeah. And then Crimson Blader, I didn't make this, but in theory it's really good.
That card in mirror matches is devastating. What are you going to summon? This? That's all you have left.
That's it. Yeah, so if you can get it off, you're probably winning. I don't know if it's necessary, because if you establish a good board, you might not even need it, but it's really strong in theory. And then the last card, I didn't make this at all today because I didn't play the matchup, but Chaofeng. So...
that's for Drytron,
It's for
right?
Drytron, exactly.
So you can't use lights?
Yes, that's right. So real quick, I'll show you what the combo looks like. If you open, like I was saying, any 2 combinations, so say in this case we open these 2, you special summon the guy, use it to make Monk, you special summon your other card. It doesn't matter which one, because then Ashun is going to banish itself and summon the other one out of deck.
Yeah.
So that's your level 8 right there. Then you use these 2 to make your level 8, so you make a Boxia. Then Boxia's effect, you can pop the Monk and bring this back.
So it locks out of lights and earths.
Yeah.
Which seems like it could be good in a lot of matchups. I can't think off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm
which
sure
ones
it
are
comes Trap Trick. There's stuff.
This deck plays Earth. Plays that.
Yeah. Now they don't play the Tenyi Earth card, but yes. But those 2 then make your Chaofeng, and he's now got the effects of light and earth on him, and they're not dealing with this. Drytron just loses on the spot at that point.
Yeah, that seems like something they just fold to if they don't have an out that
they have to have an out
into.
right there. Yeah, like Dark Ruler or Drop It. So
is there a reason you don't play a card like Shen Shen?
I thought about it. I think that I just cannot allow myself to banish all my cards is the main thing. But it is really good. I think that's a valid card you could play in this deck. I didn't personally go for that. I thought Crimson Blader was a little better. This is kind of my flex spot was the Crimson Blader, and this was kind of like the tech spot. I think all of these cards are kind of non-negotiable. Maybe this. You could maybe cut this, but all the cards from here down are pretty non-negotiable.
But these are, if you have ideas, you could try other things.
Yeah, I think these are the spots you could play with. I think this plays really strong and probably worth playing. But yeah, that's the extra deck. I'll do the side deck really quick. I'm sorry, this is going super long.
I like long ones. I feel like getting to verbalize just your thoughts on your deck kind of help us as players, you know?
No, I think so. I would agree with
Like
that.
it gives you, the person doing the profile, a better understanding of the cards you play too.
This cut through.
Also, shout out to my slow bros. They put in all the work today. and Weenie Hut Yu-Gi-Oh. Go to Weenie Hut. All right, so my side deck. So 3 Twin Twisters. There's a lot of back row in my locals. I feel like this was just kind of a good call. I don't want to get blown up by Revolt and all that crazy stuff. I just needed some spell trap removal, and I showed spell speed 2 trap removal. Also, discarding a card to activate it is sometimes very good.
You get worms engraved.
Yeah.
Your Taie gets live.
Yep, or your Tenyis, which are fine engrave anyway.
Yeah, they all float.
Yeah. Next, 3 Kaijus. So I chose the win one. Surprise.
Yeah, for the barrier statue?
Yep, barrier statue, also Dragoon, DPE. There's a lot of good kaiju
What is
stuff.
DPE?
Sorry.
Phoenix Enforcer.
yeah.
I'm not used to people saying that.
Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. Yeah, sorry.
So this
Destiny
card
Hunter-
destroys Phoenix Enforcer.
Well, it tributes it, so you don't want to destroy it. That's why the kaiju. But yeah, that's the idea. And then also, oh, my cards are weird. Draw a Lockbird. This is for Drytron. This is for the bird deck. It can be good. I sided it against Dogmatica and Rogue's Eldritch stuff.
Oh, yeah, all their cards search.
Yeah, all of them search. It's also pretty good in the mirror, I think. I haven't tried that out too much, but I feel like it would be good. Just in general, it's a strong card.
Have you been hit by the card yet, and did it hurt?
I was not hit by it yet, but I imagine it would. All right, 3
Ooh.
chills. So this is the only true hand trap I'm playing other than Impermanence. This is for Token Collector.
Oh, true.
So in addition to just being a good hand trap, if Token Collector hits the board, you are dead. So even on your turn, this is a valid card that you can use when they summon the Token Collector and try
That
to
is neat. Did these go up at all because of that?
This version, no. I think these are like $2 or $3. Please get them now. They're very good.
That's insane, actually. Yeah.
It's really good. I'm very scared of Token Collector. All my decks play tokens. I needed these. So I didn't actually need to use these. No one used Token Collector on me today, but I had it in hand if they did.
You're ready just in case.
Yeah. And then the last 3 cards, these are all 1-0s, but they're all super godly good. Harpies, you know what that does. Reboot, kill them. Pancratops, kill them more. I was very blessed and drew Kaiju plus Pancratops one time today, and I won on the spot. It was amazing. Yeah.
This card also isn't going to get cross-out designated, which is kind
Correct.
of cool.
Yeah, I'm playing pretty much 0 cards except for Impermanence that could be cross-out designated.
Unless you play the mirror.
Yeah, if I play the mirror, go nuts. But yeah, that was another cool benefit. I think this card's really strong. Token Collector was also one of the reasons why I ran Forbidden Chalice in my main deck. It was a card I would want to bring in against Token Collector, but I thought was good enough to play anyway. So these cards together are my anti-Token Collector tech.
That's kind of sick. I didn't think about that.
Also, in a pinch, in this deck particularly, a Kaiju also deals with Token Collector to some degree, just to get it off board.
Oh, because when it's on board, it has like a floodgate effect, right? No tokens.
Yeah, you can't make tokens. Now, if it's engraved, it can summon itself, so that's not a permanent solution, but it gets it off the board for a second.
A temporary solution to a permanent problem.
Yeah, Token Collector eats your lunch. So yeah, I recommend if you are able to play with the Goldsuck or the Tutor of some kind, I strongly recommend making this because it can banish the Collector, and then they don't have it anymore.
Oh, that's kind of true too.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that's the deck.
Any final words on it?
No. I'm gonna try out this version a little bit more. I'm gonna do the Destiny Phoenix Enforcer version with Ecclesia.
Yeah.
I think Ecclesia is a crazy card.
That's a good time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is also good in time. Don't scum your opponent.
Wait, why?
It burns.
If you get rid of it, it buns them.
Yeah, it burns.
Sheesh.
Them. Yeah, it can come up. Also, the 1200 burn from Long plus this can be pretty brutal. But yeah, so I'm gonna try out the other version. I'll come back with more results hopefully. Yeah, I like this a lot. I think the Tenyi version is really solid. But I'm interested in exploring the rest of it. But this deck is really right out of the gates. I really liked it. I think it's really strong. So I'm gonna probably keep playing it.
Hell yeah, thank you for the list.
Yeah, thanks, Abe.